Sarveshwara. Welcome, respected friends, to the together study of this glorious Yoga Vasishtha Maharamayana, Rama Vasishtha Samvada, composed by Valmiki ji for all of us. Third Utpatthi Prakaranam we are in, and that also Leelopakhyanam. So many topics are discussed, very sublime, beautiful. Now we are in that GIRI VARNANA and GRAMA VARNANA. That GRAMA VARNANA so distinctly, clearly, every beauty of it is explained, only to bring to our notice that in this most enchanting, beautiful Maya Kalpita Ananta Koti Brahmanda Vishwa, the grammar in which we are born and grown, like that, millions are there. So too, the way we are living, so too, so many jivas also are there. We only, with our karma as karma phala, go through all those lokas. That is called as Janma Marana Samsara Parampara. Is that the only option? No. There is other alternative that by realizing the substratum beyond this Maya to be our own selves, we can transcend this individuality bound by karma to the Janma Marana. Isn't it? So to bring to our notice. That's how you see Krishna Vasudeva. This Girigrama, which is being described, such a small village and all, in that Arundhati was the Brahmana Patni. Brahmana was the Vasishtha named. But see the Punya done by him and Sankalpa done by him. Anna, that he has become king now, Padma. So materially, if you see, it's an evolution. That from a village Brahmana to a king of the entire Rajya. One way it is a promotion only. But inside, from the Brahmana who is more capable of reaching to the truth through sadhana, he has become more busy Raja with Rajoguna. Did he stop there? In the next life, he has become Raja with more negative qualities. So through Sankalpa, that Jiva is shifting from one to the other. Same with the Arundhati too. She just wanted to be with that Brahmana husband. Because he became king, she has to become the wife because of that sankalpa, and then therefore the Maharani she is. But unlike that Raja Padma, see what Raja Padma became? Another Raja Viduratha some name. So by seeing that third Janma of this Brahmana, we can know in the second Janma as a king, outside in whatever the way he was behaving, inside what was he, we can understand. It's for understanding's sake, nothing to comment upon, etc. But here, in case of Arundhati, who became Rani Leela, but she continued her sadhana. Luckily, she could invoke Mother Saraswati and she got Saraswati as her guru. From her, she is getting jnanam. So either she can go back to be a Brahmani like Arundhati of her earlier life, or could have fallen like the Padma Raja in the next life, either becoming his wife or something. But she has chosen to listen to Tattva from mother and she has got it. So she slowly through inner sadhanas of vicharana and all, realizing our essential self to be Chidakasha, therefore no Janma Marana Bandhana. In our case also, if we take up in one life the Adhyatmikata and invoke Ishvara Krupa, Guru Ishvara comes as Guru, he gives us Tattvopadesha. If we adopt the Tattvopadesha and reach to Tattva, no more Janma Marana Bandha Samsara. If not, like in the case of Leela herself, where she narrated her earlier 30-40 lives out of 800 lives which she remembered, we also go through each of the Janma in different yonis. So in this Brahmanda, from Brahmaloka up to the Kita Sarisrupa Loka, so many yonis are there. 84 lakhs, they say. Any one of them we go through. And this cycle of Janma Varna in each of the yoni continues still. In any of the life, particularly human, most probably we realize the self through the Jnana. Now, in all those things, coming to human life, we have achieved. Being born in Sanatana Dharma, Hinduism, is also great achievement. Here, let us choose to be at the feet of some gurus who are teaching only Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya, Tattva Vidya. These are the things we have to start doing. Having gone to that guru, from him listen only the Tattva Upanishads. Then do Manana Chintana on that, discard the Panchakosha Tadatma and realize oneness with that Brahman. If not, choose continuously to be a Jiva, look at the world, get enchanted. All this happening in delusion. Create desires, work for them, and to procure, enjoy them, go through some other Janma. For that, this life you have to die, continue it. All again, after telling all this, Vimrusheta Dasheshena Yathechasi Tatha Kuru. I have given you the highest of the knowledge. Now it is your job to contemplate and do what you want. Bhagavan in Gita says that only. Huh? Iti te jnanamakhyatam guhyad guhyataram maya vimrusheta dasheshena yatechasi tatha kuru. Okay? Somebody listens thousands times this one, still discards spirituality, chooses samsara. Somebody once only listens, gives up the entire pursuit of samsara, takes up spiritual goal, and he single-pointedly tries for it and achieves. Examples are there. Some people थोड़ा ये थोड़ा वो थोड़ा ये भटकते ही रहते. So from the 1 to the 3 we have to come. From the 3 to the 2 we have to come. The second one is bas from now onwards only adhyatmika ta is my lakshya. So strengthen sankalpa, strengthen prarthana, deepen the knowledge, deepen the desire for that. And then whatever time availability, use only for that Atma Vichara, Atma Chintana, Atma Dhyana, Atma, what do you call, Tadatmya and Atmanumurti, nothing else. To teach to us all these are these great sublime truths in between these explanations regarding the Janma, Punarjanma of the Raja, etc. and also the Varnana of the Giri and Grama. Not only Giri Grama Varnana is done, before that we also have seen Aneka Loka Varnana also. So in the Kalpita Jagat, all this is like that. It is Kalpita. Either it's for Ishvara, the Maya, Yuk, Mayavi, the Samashti mein, or any one of us. Okay? Ishvara Kalpana and the Ishvara Kalpana Jiva. Jiva given freedom. With the freedom, he also does Kalpana. So with the Ishvara Kalpana, the mud is made earth. With the Jiva Kalpana, from the mud a pot is made or a house is made. Isn't it? Ishvara did not make pots and houses. He just made the mud. He made Jiva, gave Jiva the freedom. Freedom, Jiva thought, as a body I have to be safe. I need a house. देखो mud से घर बनाया. And I need water to store every day. I can't go to river. So from the mud he made a pot, etc., etc. So by making pot and house and staying in that, the jiva is strengthening his deha tadatmya. And from there it started. If you see now how much science is growing, technology is growing, but all of that adding to dehosmi only. Not that I'm not dehosmi. If I'm not deha, why all these are required? To a jiva, to a brahman, they are all not required. isn't it? So by all these outer science technology, Deha Tadatmya only is growing. Therefore, Deha Rogas are growing. And Deha Karana, all fightings are growing. And finally, dying as a Deha, only to be born again. By the way, we are adding that. Just for our little more understanding. To expand our understanding, only all these Shastras. And that happens when we contemplate this way. So in the Giri Grama Varnana, what is the further description? Can we see now? Start with 2-3 minutes of Mangalacharana Shloka, please. Om 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 Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Bhakti Yoga Dharma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ओम यैरिमे गुरुवे पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः सच्चास्त्राः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् ओम श्री राम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने ओम ब्रह्मानंदं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म भक्ति योग धर्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे श्री वशिष्ठ विश्वामित्र वाल्मीकि वेदव्यास वामदेव नारद आदि समस्त श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणानां रामायणादिशास्त्राणाम् आचार्येभ्यो नमः संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषत् योगवासिष्ठ महारामायणोक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्षकैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणेतिहास सन्तवाङ्मयोक्त साध्य साधनानुभव सिद्ध्यर्थं तत्रोक्त ऋषिमुनिगुरुदेवता दर्शनानुग्रहानुभव प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थं धर्म संस्थापकानां नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवद शिवकृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रु विघ्न समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हिंदव संस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थं अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पितसत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्री राम वशिष्ठ संवाद रूप श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण स्मृति मोक्ष प्रकरण शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्नं मुक्त्यर्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शन दृश्यभूः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरेवनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः दिवि भूमौ तथाकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभुः यो विभात्यवभासात्मा तस्मै सर्वात्मने नमः ॐ सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तमेकमजरं नित्यं विभुं शाश्वतं प्रत्यग्ब्रह्मरसायनं सुगगनं पूर्णं परं पावनं स्वात्मज्योतिरनादिमध्यनिधनं मायाविलासैर्मुहुः विश्वाकारमपास्तमायमभयं वन्दे विशुद्धं पदं ज्ञानादेवात्मनो मोक्षः न तु कर्मसमाधिभिः अज्ञातोऽसौ स्वसदृश्यं सृजत्येवेति कीर्त्यते तस्मै श्रीगुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहं तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्री गुरुतम गुरवे भूरिभावैर्नता स्मः पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्दिधीर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरविगलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यस्संवादेन शास्त्रामृतजलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये। ओम श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। वशिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः। श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण स्मृति मोक्ष प्रकरण शास्त्रम तृतीय उत्पत्ति प्रकरणम लीलोपाख्याने गिरि ग्राम वर्णनं नाम अष्टाविंश सर्गः। श्री वशिष्ठ उवाच. So we have seen yesterday up to the mantra number 49, 50 तक हमने देखा. So 49, 48 onwards if we see नीरन्ध्रविडपिच्छाया शीतलामलशाद्वलं सर्व षष्पाग्रवार्बिन्दु प्रतिबिम्बिततारकं. See, Nirandhra Vitapi. Vitapi means big trees. Nirandhra means the trees and the branches and the leaves are so dense that there is no randhra between them for the sunlight to come. Therefore, in that Nirandhra Vitapas, the chaya, the shadow among in between those trees. Because of that shade shadow, Sheetala Amala Shadvalam. Very cooling, very soft is the Shadvala, the lawns, the grass, etc. Sarva Shashpagra Var Bindu Pratibimbita Tarakam. So, Var Bindu, the drops of the water, Shashpa, the blade of grass, Agra, the tip. And the tips of the blades of the grass, the water droplets are hanging, and in that they are looking like a pratibimbat bimbita tarakam. So either the stars or sunlight is reflecting in them, making it appear like the taraka, looking like tarakas. Were those droplets bright, brilliant? Nowadays, an idea is in a cricket match when you see night match made day and night. Nowadays the audience, whatever the reason, when their team is winning or all, सारे लोग एक दूसरे से बात करके they put on their cell phones torchlight and go आते रहते हैं ऐसा. So it looks like प्रतिबिंबित तारक. An example. So too, the drops of water hanging at the tip of the blade of grass. So many. अनारतपतत्फुल्ल हिमवर्षसितालयं विचित्रमञ्जरी पुष्प पत्र सत्फलपादपम्. So anarata patat. Anarata without break. Patat are falling. Fulla very blossomed flowers. After they are blossomed and disconnected from the trees, then patat hima varsha. Also the snowfall. Sita alayam. All the houses are very nice, whitely they are seen because of the snow. That's how the Giri Grama, so beautiful. Then Vichitra Manjari Pushpa Patra Sat Phala Padapam. So every of their houses have the trees having so many of bunches of flowers as well as the fruits they are hanging only. So Vichitra, variety of Manjari, Pushpa, the Guldasta, yeah, bunches of flowers, Patra, the leaves, Patra के बाद Sat Phala, wonderful, well ripened fruits, Padapam, having, the trees are having. So trees of ripened so many fruits and wonderful leaves as well as bunches and bunches of flowers they are seen. As we explained yesterday, the Vasishthaji with his Divya Drishti camera is watching Nargiri Grama, and as he is seeing her, he is doing the Varnana. जैसे आप इस कमरे में टीवी देख रहे हो, दूसरे कमरे में आपका कोई है, तो आप उनको बता रहे हो, वो कोई खाना बना रहे होंगे, तो फ्रॉम हियर यू टेल, क्रिकेट मैच देख रहे हो तो पूछते हैं क्या हुआ, फोर लग गया, क्या हुआ, विकेट गिर गया, या एनी अदर सीन इफ नॉट क्रिकेट. some other movie or any political news. हाँ क्या हुआ बस ये हो रहा है. As if like that, Vashishtha ji Divya Drushti describing Rama to Rama. Next one, Gruha Kakshantaralina Megha Supta Chirantikam Saudhasta Megha Vidyudbhir Anadeya Pradipakam. So, Gruha Kaksha Antaralina Megha Supta Chirantikam. So, the houses are in that mountain, clouds are there. So the clouds have come into as if the houses also. So the people are still sleeping in that only. Yeah, बरामदे में सो रहे थे होंगे. Then the clouds have come. It appears still they are sleeping in the cloud. That is what. Gruha, Gruha Kaksha, Antaralina, Megha, Supta. Chirantikam, maybe the children or the women folk. Then Saudastha, Megha, Vidyudbhi. The meghas are having those vidyut lightnings so bright, brilliant that anadeya pradipakam, prompting them not to have the lamps. अरे दिया जलाओ क्या जरूरत है. Lightning is there जबरदस्त. So everything is seen in that lightning. You have seen that, no? Lightning में आपने कभी रात में travel किया होगा. During the rainy season. Stay in villages, then वो वाला अनुभव आता है. So this is the village only Varnana. Continue. Kandaranila Bhankara Ghana Ghunguma Mandapam Charat Chakora Harita Harini Hari Mandiram. So Kandara means Giri Kandara, the cave of the mountains. Nila, Anila is a wind. Bhankara, it is making bham bham sound. Ghana Ghunguma Mandapam. So that sound. The Vayu sound inside going and coming out of the mountain is very, very terrible, frightening, and very conspicuous. Then Charat Chakora Harita Harini Hari Mandiram. The houses of people are so welcoming. The Chakora Pakshis, the parrots, as well as the deers, that fearlessly they are moving there, eating whatever they want, or just spending their time. है ना. इतना अद्भुत सीन है वो. Where the chakora and tota and all the deers are moving around. In that way, Giri Grama Varnana, beautiful, going on, going on. Some more. Unnidra Kandalodvanta Mam Salamodamantharaihi Marudbhir Mandamayatum Arabdhair Lola Pallavam. So, mm, uh, उन्निद्र कंदल उद्वांत मांसलामोद मंथरैहि मरुद्भिः मंदमायातुम आरब्धैर्लोल पल्लवम. So the sleeping fragrance of the trees and the fruits there from some places, the wind is blowing and bringing that fragrance to various houses toward the direction in which the wind is blowing. You know, like in that Venkateshwara Suprabhatam also, in one of the mantras we see that Ela Lavanga Ganasara Sugandha Tirthai means the Ela Lavanga Ganasara Sugandha, reaching to Paramatma's place. The poet writes there with so much devotion that the trees want to offer Ela Lavanga, Ilaichi Long Vagara to the Lord, but tree cannot move. Therefore, the tree is requesting the Vayu, O Lord, Vayu Deva, take this fragrance to the Lord and offer it to him. So, in this way, the trees also have woken up and sending their fragrance to you through the winds, O Lord Venkateshwara. Tava Suprabhatam, now you wake up and take care of us. That's how that beautiful stotra makes the Lord wake up. In a sense, in a highly spiritual language, within me, I made the Lord sleep because I, the ego, is woken up and I am ruling my life, rather ruining my life. A Jnani Bhakta knows that I should sleep, Lord should wake up. In the sense, I should become secondary, Lord should take over this life. Like Arjuna gave the Yuddha Ratha Sarathya to the Lord as well as Jivana Ratha Sarathya to the Lord. Lord led Arjuna for his victory in the Yuddha as well as in the entire life. So that Suprabhatam has a very deep divine meaning. One example of that, quoting here, that beautiful fragrance from Kandali Vruksha has come and touching everybody. So, Unnidra Kandala Udvanta Mamsalamoda Mantaraihi Marudbihi Mandamayatum Arabdair Lola Pallavam. So, that beautiful fragrance, wind coming with the fragrance. Next, Lavaka Lavalilaya Malina Lalana Ganam Koka Kokila Kakola Kola Hala Samakulam, a tongue twisting shloka with so many loves and curse. I live it where two times I'll chant. Lavaka Lavalilaya Malina Lalana Ganam Koka Kokila Kakola Kola Hala Samakulam. Again, Lavakalavalilayamaleena lalana ganam koka kokila kakola kola samakulam. So, lavaka alafa lilayam alina lalana ganam. So lavaka means all these birds, alapa making the sound, lilayam in that lila vinoda of pakshi shabda, alina totally submerged are the lalanagadam, some of the women folk. The women folk have submerged in enjoying into that lila of the pakshi kalarava sound of the birds. Then koka kokila kakola kolahala samakulam. In another place, the koka, the kokila, then kaka, all of them are making their own terrible kolahala, beautiful kolahala sound. तो अपने आप बहुत आवाज आ रहा है इधर भी आवाज है women folk are just listening and enjoying it है ना that's an enchantment so is that they don't have any other कैसे बैठ के कैसे सुन रहे हो not that way when Vasishtha ji is taking the camera across shooting at that time he captured that scene that's why the other thing also described where kaka kokila all of them are making sound but there the women are listening that's not mentioned no तो ऐसा हम कैमरा लगाया तो like if you zoom the just put on the camera one tree a bandar is moving that doesn't mean that every bandar should be on the tree or every tree should have bandar उस समय with the video in focus that was seen है ना or when you put your camera on the railway track the train is moving not that continuously the train moves that time the train moved and your camera was there or you're focusing on a river, the boat or steamer is going. Not that every time you go focus, the boat steamer will go, or every time the steamer goes, somebody should take a shooting. ऐसा नहीं होता. यहाँ भी when he is showing, it is seen. That's how the description. Next, सालतालतमालाब्ज नीलतत्फलमालिनं वल्ली वलय विन्यास विलासवलितद्रुमम्. So, Sala वृक्ष साल का पेड़ ताल ताल वृक्ष तमाल तमाल वृक्ष अब्ज नील तत्फल मालिनम so in all of them fully fructified so many of the fruits are there okay then valli valaya vinyasa vilasa valita drumam so druma the trays are valita fully covered by vilasa in a playful mood by the valli valaya. So the creepers are around the trees लपेट कर कुछ जगह दिख रहे हैं कुछ जगह all the tali tamala vrikshas having so many of the fruits. So if you say the list of all these description, it makes it a very beautiful picture, very meditative, very ahlada giving. So the Maya binds definitely with so much of confusion, but it's same Maya Kalpita only giving all these enchanting things. यू नो माया भगवान ने बनाया माया से जगत को विलास हेतु लीला हेतु इज ओनली वी क्रिएट samsara by our ignorance by crossing our limits by misusing the given freedoms and by getting deluded instead of remaining wise all the time. तो ज्ञान को छोड़कर अज्ञान को पकड़कर मोह में फंसकर दिया हुआ स्वतंत्रता को हद पार करके दुरुपयोग करते हुए हम इस अद्भुत भगवान निर्मित माया निर्मित जगत जो हमें आनंद लीला देने के लिए है उसमें हम अपने स्वयं कृत अपराध से फंस जाते हैं, धस जाते हैं. That we have to learn how to negotiate in this kalpita jagat so that it is not binding me. That's why in our morning, common sense thoughts every day, one thing we are learning to see that we are in the same world, using it for our sadhana, not misusing it for our samsara and bandhana. Okay. So in this way, a beautiful description. Now, big slokas come, around 9-10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now, आलोल पल्लवलतावलितायनानाम् उत्फुल्लकन्दलशिरीन्द्रसुगन्धितानां तालीतमालदलदाण्डवमण्डपानाम् आरामफुल्लकुसुमद्रुमशीतलानाम्. So, alola pallava lata valita ayatana valita ayananam. Ayana, the paths were as if blocked because of so many creepers. They are moving. मतलब लटक रहे होंगे, पेड़ से हिल रहे हैं, सो उस रास्ते में जाने से वो रुकावट डाल रहे हैं. So alola pallava lata valita ayananam. Another place, utfulla kandala shilindra sugandhitanam. So another place, utfulla, fully blossomed, kandala, the kandala fruits, shilindra, shilindra matlab these variety of the vrukshas. Shilindra in some places, mushrooms also are called. Such type of things. Sugandhitanam, from these well blossomed fruits and flowers, very beautiful fragrance is coming. So Vasishthaji's camera can capture the coolness of the winds also, the fragrance of the flowers also, the nectarine sweet smell of the fruits also. बढ़िया कैमरा है कि नहीं? आप कैमरा कैमरा केवल पिक्चर को कैप्चर करती है, उसमें कोई ऑडिशन का भी है तो साउंड को भी करती है. So the two indriyas we are able to capture through science. Two indriyas we can enchant. But if by capturing something, if you get the taste also, all problems of eating will go away. Kina? Something in your hand, you eat it, you get the mango taste, you get whatever the taste you want. Ho gaya mano. So then you not struggle so much for tastes. What Vasishthaji's camera is capturing even fragrances and all. Then Tali Tamala Dala Tandava Mandapanam. So in another place, Mandapanam, the houses are made with Tali Tamala Dala. All the ताली तमाल वृक्षों को उपयोग किया उन्होंने घर वगैरह बनाने के लिए. देन आराम फुल्ल कुसुम द्रुम शीतलानम. So in other places, the houses are appearing so cool. Now the summers are coming. Already we are slowly getting frightened. इस बार क्या गर्मी होगी. But these houses are Arama Fulla Kusuma Druma Sheetalana. Arama means houses. How they are there? Fulla Kusuma Druma. Fully blossomed Kusuma flowers. Druma, the trees. Sheetalanam. Because of that, it is so cold. So a time should come where individuals and governments should plan to have all these trees which give shade, coolness, oxygen, and support to the earth. So many beautiful benefits are there with the trees to all of us. है ना? Yeah, they drink water in the place somewhere. ये पेड़ बहुत पानी पी रहा है और हमारे पूरे बिल्डिंग का पानी हमको नहीं मिल रहा है, पेड़ ही पीले रह करके. They are removing the trees. And if you remove the tree, then in summer how much you suffer? That's the description. Then Saravavari Chalana Kula Gokulanam Anilana Anila Sasya Kusumastala Shobhitanam तीरद्रुम प्रकर गुप्त सरित्रयाणाम नीरंद्र पुष्पितलताग्रवितानकानाम. So the village with all these beauties. So Saravavari Chalana Akula Gokulanam. So from the waters, the cows and calves are coming out, making a beautiful their respective sounds. So Sarava Vari Chalana Akula Gokulana. So the Gokula, the group of the cows, Vari, having taken the water bath, coming out, making the Akulata, the sound. Then Anila Sasya Kusuma Sthala Shobhitanam. So in another place, beautiful Neela Pushpas are there, Shobhita, giving the beauty to the eyes. Then Tira Druma Prakara Gupta Sarit Rayanam. So, Tira Druma, Tira means banks, Druma the trees. Prakara Gupta, they are very dense, thick trees are there. What are they doing? Gupta Sarit Rayanam. So, they are the blocking the flow of the waters. Okay, of the flow of the river in that way. So, river घूम कर जा रहा है. Then Nirandhra Pushpita Lata Gravitana Kanam, which was already said, कि the trees are so nirandra, very dense, that it is looking like a, what do you call, the above टेंट वगैरह डालते हैं ना, चांदनी वगैरह कहते हो, उस तरह दिख रहा है. एंड फॉर सम ऑफ अस वी नो द मेनी प्लेसेस, नॉट ओनली इन फॉरेन कंट्रीज, इंडिया में भी आधा किलोमीटर, 1 किलोमीटर, 2 किलोमीटर आप जब जाते हो, ऑन इवन रोड्स ऑल्सो इन योर कार, both side the huge trees and covering like that. तो आपको ना वो नीरंध्र वृक्षों के बीच में से जाने वाला वो आनंद मिलता है ना. कोस्टल एरियाज में जाओ आप, दोनों तरफ those big big trees, they are there. It's so nice thing to see. The other day, where did I see that? कहीं जा रहे थे केरल में या घूम रहे, last month only sometime. So we could see that. There are very many places. So here also the dense trees making a look of canopy or a cover above shata ki tarah ya chandani ki tarah, or like the tent vagera. That is what is said here. Then Udyana Kunda Makaranda Sugandhitanam Gandhanda Shatpada Kulantaritambujanam. Okay. Saundarya Tarjita Purandara Mandiranam Rajiva Rajiraj Sarunitambaranam. What a poetry, what a beautiful thing it is. मुझे अच्छा लगता है सब, समझ तो नहीं आता पूरा, but then the chanting also. That's the beauty of our Sanskrit Bhasha. And there the grammar. And through that, the Varnana, see, एक दूसरे से compete करते हुए. And the great poets do the Varnana of the Prakriti when chanting. And same people are the others. When they do the Varnana of the Paramatma Saguna Sakar, oh Ananda. And when they do the Varnana of the Nirguna Brahma, I'm telling you about the beauty of Samskrita Bhasha. That also so enchanting. And we miss that, you know. Everything is taught, not Sanskrit. Mhm. If Samskrita is known, then we study our Shastras. When we study and understand them, we know the glory of Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma. So to avoid us, develop respect to our own Sanatana Dharma, what is to be done is keep the Sanskrit Bhasha and Shastras away from them and destroy the temples. Don't give them a chance to worship, and then frighten them with our weapons and Rakshasatva. This is what these all Muslim invaders, terrorists, and all of them have time and again have done. And always they look for the opportunity even now. These are the naked open truths. You know what should be our responsibility, we must know. है ना, ये अपने हाथ में. नेक्स्ट कि उद्यान कुंद मकरंद सुगंधितानाम. So there are so many Udyanavanas having Kunda Adi Pushpa. The Makaranda of them is giving so much of Sugandha. So Vaashishtha is moving through, is feeling the fragrance of the Kunda Pushpas, lotus, etc. Then Gandhanda Shatpada Kulantarita Ambujana. So Gandha Andha, blindfolded by the great fragrance, Shatpada Kula, the Jhund and Jhund of Shatpadas, the Bhavara, the Brahmara, Shatpada Kula Antarita Ambujanam, big number of the Bhavare are inside the lotus, having their own party of drinking that makaranda of that flower. मतलब एक एक बड़ा बड़ा खुला हुआ लोटस के अंदर छह छह पांच पांच भंवरा ही इज सीइंग वशिष्ठ जी that is writing gandha andha blindfolded by the gandha smell shatpada kula the group of the shatpadas antarita entered into ambuja lotus you know this the same thing is written again in that venkateshwara suprabhatam two times you know? Mm. The two shlokas I don't remember them. Mm. Bhrungavali cha makaranda. That's the shloka is there. Jhankara Gita Nindaihi Saha Sevitanam Sri Venkatasalapate Tava Suprabhatam. So the Bhrungavali, having early morning enjoyed the nectar of the flowers, they have come to you, O Lord, singing their song of gratitudes and prayers to you, saying that, O Lord, thank you that you have given such a makaranda to us. Bhrungavali cha makaranda rasanuvidda jhankara gita ninadaihi sahasevyamana. So that's how the mantra. Bhrungavali cha makaranda rasanuvidda jhankara gita ninadaihi sahasevyamana. So they are all coming to thank you at least. To receive their thanks, you get up, you wake up, so that we can have your darshana. That is how the description there. Jhankara gita ninadaihi sahasevanaya. Niryanti apanta sarasi kamala udarebhyaha. They are all coming out of the udara of the kamala of the saras. Don't you see the Lord? Don't you listen to their thanks? Can't you get up? Niryatyupanta sarasi kamalodarebhyaha Sri Venkatachalapate Tava Suprabhata. No, I remembered shloka. इनको शाम का समय है सुबह का कैसे याद रहेगा भृंगावली च मकरंद रसानुविद्ध झंकार गीत निनदैः सहसेवनाय निर्यात्युपान्त सरसी कमलोदरेभ्यः श्रीवेंकटाचलपते तव सुप्रभातम और एक बार भी आता है हाँ so here also all these gandha anda pushpa Shatpada Kulantarita Ambujanam, Shatpada Kulantar. Then Saundarya Tarjita Purandara Mandiranam. So Saundarya Tarjita, because of its Sundarata, the houses, Tarjita, they are humiliating and insulting. What? Purandara Mandiranam, even the houses and buildings of Purandara, the Indra. तो इंद्रलोक के घरों को भी ठुकराने वाले सुंदरता यहाँ का वो घरों का या ब्यूटीफुल ट्रीज एटसेट्रा सो सौंदर्य में पुरंदर मंदिरों को भी तर्जित कर रहे हैं ओके देन राजीव राजी रजसारुणितांबराणाम एंड देन द होल आकाश अनदर प्लेसेस राजीव राजिरा राजी रज सारुणित अंबराणाम राजीव रजिर राजीव राजी रजसा अरुणित अंबराणाम. So the sky is filled with the pollen grains appearing to be so reddish in color. Means so many trees, so many flowers, and so much of the paraga renu moving because of the winds in the sky that the akasha is appearing in the reddish color. That's the varnana. Ha ha. So beautiful. And it's not impossible or difficult. Even though there are some trees and nature lovers, groups and groups, they are maintaining such beautiful parks and gardens. You see, Dubai make one of the important things to see is all these flower gardens only. जब पानी ही नहीं होता है लेकिन वो लोग वहां इतना सुंदर बनाए so there if you see go you can see that the akasha is full of that colors because of the flowers. Next, Ramho Vahad Giri Nadir Avaghargaranam Kundavadata Jalanadyuti Bhasuranam Saudastitolla Sidafulla Latalayanam Leela Valola Kalaganta Vihangamanam. सुप्रभातम ट्यून आ गया. रम्हो वहद्गिरिनदीरवघर्घराणाम कुन्दावदात जलनद्युतिवासुराणाम सौदस्थितोल्लसितफुल्ललतालयानाम लीलावलोलकलकण्ठविहङ्गमानाम. So Ramho Vahat, Ramho Vahat means speedily flowing. Giri Nadi, the Nadi is coming from the Gidi. Rava Ghargarana, making the Gargara Rava, Rava means sound. So one place, the big sound of the waters flowing from the mountains. Kunda Vadata Jalana Chuti Bhasuranam. So Kunda Vadata Jalana Dyuti Bhasuranam. The Kunda Pushpas, they are white in color, so beautifully blossomed. Their white color is like the light of the sun only. Another place. Then Saudhasthita Ullasita Fulla Latalayanam. So the so many of the houses having the Lata Grahas in the zone Saudha. Again, you can see people having the gardens, terrace gardens, वगैरह. वो लोग हैं प्रेमी, they have their own house, 2-3 storied. So they have made a big terrace garden. One of the people's choice is they want the creepers. So the creepers hanging from that third, fourth floor down all over the building, having variety of flowers with various colors. If you can guess it, it is like that. Saudha Stita Ullasita Fulla Lata Alayana. So he is watching all that. Then Leela Avalola Kalakanta Vihangamanam. So Leela Avalola Kalakanta Vihangamanam. The Vihanga Pakshis are with their own Kalakanta, wonderful throat. Leela, they are making their Swara, the singing. They are enjoying. है ना. वो पंछियों का अपना मौजा है, अपना आवाज करते हैं. Why the hen says Kokoroko in the morning, वो उसका मस्ती है. Then the crankara sound of the peacock, it likes it. The कोयल का sound, you know. I'm waiting for the first sound of कोयल. सुबह उठ के सुन रहा हूँ मैं, अभी आए नहीं वो. नाराज हो गया होगा सारे पेड़ काट दिए करके. So they have their own wonderful sound, talking to each other. They expressing their love to the God. They also in their own way see the world. They are happy with themselves. So that's what. Leela Avalola Kalakanta Vihangamanam. So the birds with their Kalakanta making the sound with all their Leela joy. Then Ullasi Kausumadalan Staranastayunam Apadamavalitamalya Vilasinam Sarvatra Sundara Navankuradanturanam Shobolasadvaralata Kulamargananam. So Ullasi Kausumadala Astaranastha Yunam. So Ullasi Kausumadalastaranastha Yunam. Yunam, the Yuvas are in some place happily sleeping in the flowers and leaves made bed. Apadam Avarita Malya Vilasaninam. In another place, some women folk having the Pushpa malas tied to them from the head to the leg. Apadam Avalita Malya Vilasini. Vilasini means the women folk. Yuna means the youth. Some youth are sleeping somewhere in that bed. And here the women are having the malas of Pushpa all over the Sharira. Then Sarvatra Sundara Nava Ankura Danturanam. Another place, very beautiful Nava Ankura Danturanam. Uh, just came, the tender leaves are there to the trees in one place, like that scene. So, or then Shobho Lasad Varalata Kulamargananam. Some places the Marga itself is Ullasita with Shobha. It is so high in its beauty with the human made paths having the grass on the ground and both sides, the plants, etc. बचपन में हम सब देखते थे ना, बनाते थे. मिट्टी से बनता था चलने वाला जगह. उन दिनों में ये पत्थर वगैरह नहीं होते थे. I'm talking about 50-60 years back. Then both sides we used to keep those pots of the flowers, green, croton, whatever. So is this beauty he is seeing. Shobha, Ullasat, Vara, Lata, Akula, Marganana. Latakula, Marganana. So the paths are with the latas and trees which are having the Shobha, Ullasa, the beauty. So nature's beauty is always so beautiful. Some people discover this technique of quietening their mind by going into the nature. Even staying in your own home, close the eyes, and in the mind you contemplate on the nature, Prakriti of those mountains, snow-clad, or the beautiful the trees, forests with lots of flowers and all. In a minute's time, you can find that peace. प्रकृति भगवान की शक्ति है, माया है. वो हमेशा हर बंदे को दुखी करने के लिए नहीं होते. That's our mismanagement. The Prakriti is only to enchant us, to quieten our minds, to give us joy only. People recognize it. That's how the nature walkers, the nature lovers, the nature meditators, they're all there. They really are making use of it. हम कुछ नहीं करते घर में बैठ के like a buffalo, watch the TV half time and the remaining time fight with wife and husband. कुछ बाकी time खा पी के फिर सो जाते. None of the beauty that a human being can enjoy, the dove, the spiritualities, the nature service, the serving the co-living beings, none of them we enjoy. Very gross bhogi we are, not a subtle yogi. We have to come out of all these self-made, nonsensical comfort zones and enjoy the higher possibilities. Mm. Next one, Sanjata Komalalatotvala Sankulanam तिष्ठत्पयोदपटसम्बलितालयानां निहारहारहरितस्थलविश्रुतानां सौधस्तमेघतडिदाकुलिताङ्गनानाम्. So Sanjata Komala Lata Utpala Sankulan. So Komala Latas, very well born from the earth, they are in the thick dense form. Tishtat Payoda Pata Sambalita Alayanam. So, Tishtat Payoda Pata Sambalita Alayanam. In the some of the houses, Payoda, the clouds are there like the Valaya, like a beautiful creepers. The clouds have entered the house only. So, in some other houses, Nihara Hara Harita Sthala Vishrutanam. So, in another place, the outer gardens are having the Nihara, the snow on them. नॉर्थ इंडिया वालों को ये हर सब गर्मी सर्दियों में ये आनंद दिखता है. द मॉर्निंग 4 o'clock 4:35 when they come out and see that grass is with that snow and it's so cooling. I remember those North India staying days, many years, 10-15 साल. तो ये मजा करते थे. वो घास का लान होता था बाहर. So wonderful it is. That is the beauty. Nihara Hara Harita Sthala Vishrutanam. Harita Sthala is grass. Harita having that Hara of that on that. Of made of what? Nihara, the smoke or the snow or the fog. Not fog, the snow. सुबह सुबह जो गिरता है. सौधस्थ मेघ तड़ित आकुलित अंगनानाम. And the anganas are on the Saudha, the building top. Suddenly from the clouds, a big thunder happened and they are frightened. So this is how Vaashishthaji's zoom camera, drone camera is working to capture all the scenes of that GIRI Gram. मजा आ रहा है कि नहीं? Thanks to the drone and zoom cameras that we can have the joyful description. मतलब we can describe these things understandable to us, comparing with our modern gadgets and technology. तो वशिष्ठ जी को इन सब की जरूरत नहीं है. Only through his yoga sthiti he can see all of that. When he is focusing the camera here, so he sees the rivers flowing and making lots of sound. There the birds making sound. Wonderful. Here the lots of creepers in the tree. On the house itself. Another house, the clouds are covering that house, entered inside house also. और दूसरी जगह पे the women folk on the Saudha terrace talking to each other, suddenly frightened because of the dom dom sound of the lightnings and thunders. So that is how. Saudhasta Mega Tadit Akulita Angananam. अंगना लोग आकुलित हो गए वो तड़ित का शब्द सुनकर मेघ से, वो लोग जो सौद पे थे. लाइक दैट. नीलोत्फलोल्लसित सौरभ सुंदराणाम हुंकार हारि हरितोन्मुख गोकुलानाम विस्रब्ध मुग्ध मृगसार गृहाजिराणाम उन्नृत्य बर्हि घनसीकर निर्झराणाम. So Neela Utpala Ullasita Saurabha Sundarana. In another place, the Neela Utpala flowers are so many they have grown. Then they are also giving the joy for the ones who are seeing them. Then Hunkara Hari Harita Unmukha Gokulanam. So the entire Gokulas are full of the animals, the cattle making the hung sound. है ना, गाय बछड़े भैंस अपना आवाज करते हुए द गोकुलास देयर इन दैट विलेज. देन विश्रब्ध मुग्ध मृग सार गृह अजिराणाम. सो विश्रब्ध मुग्ध मृग सार गृह अजिराणाम, गृहों के अजिरों में, अजिरा मीन्स आंगर, दी द आउटसाइड ऑफ द हाउस, the courtyard, whatever you call, in that Vishrabdha Mugdha Mruga Sara Gruha. The Mrugas and Sara Pakshis, etc., are enjoying in front of the houses. And not only that, Unrutya Bharigana Sikara Nirjaranam. So, when the waters are coming from the waterfalls, the sprinkled water are falling here, seeing that, taking them to be the rains, even the peacocks are making a dance. है ना, उन नृत्य बरही घनसीकर निर्जराणा. So Varhi means the peacocks. Un Nrutya dancing. Imagining that to be a rain where the waters are falling from the top of the mountains, the falls. In this way, everything is beautiful. If you have the language to describe, if you have the time and patience to contemplate and imagine, such a beautiful joy all this. And ये सब प्रभु के माया से कल्पित है, इनमें कोई भी सत्य नहीं है. अल्टीमेटली सत्य इज ओनली वन ब्रह्मन. We are told to enjoy Brahman as well as enjoy the Bhagavan's Shakti in the form of this nature. How? Both of them, when we adore them, not when we neglect them. When we have a wrong intentions, Bhoga Buddhi, everything is Satyanash. सब भगवत रूप से देखोगे, everything is divine. That's how we have to learn the art. ठीक है. Next one. सौगन्ध्यमत्तपवनाहत विक्लवानां वव्रौषधिज्वलनविस्मृतदीपकानां कोलाहलाकुलकुलाय कुलाकुलानां कुल्याकुलाकलकलाश्रुतसङ्कथानां. So earlier also we had one tongue twisting shloka, है ना, the 53 वाला. ये भी ऐसा ही है 62. सौगन्ध्यमत्तपवनाहत विक्लवानां वप्रौषधि ज्वलन विस्मृत दीपकानां कोलाहलाकुलकुलाय कुलाकुलानां कुल्याकुलाकलकलाश्रुतसं कथानां. See, to divide these words and know what is there, what is the meaning of each of the word totally, what is the meaning of sentence through that, what is being described there. A Maha tapassa. Same is with any of the languages, even our own mother tongue. What we speak generally is different from in the same mother tongue when some great poet writes some poetry. आप उसको समझने का कोशिश करो. You have to have that vocabulary, that grammar and all. So here also. So Saugandhya Matta Pavana Ahata Viklavana. Pavana Ahata. The wind is touching. How that's wind? Saugandhya and Matta. Bringing all the fragrance and giving such a touch joy to us. What is the result of that? Saugandhya Matta Pavana Ahata? Pavana Ahata Viklavana. When the wind is touching, it is Ahata, destroying, eliminating, Viklava, the laziness, the tiredness. That's why सुबह उठकर तुरंत पहले बाहर निकलो and go into those lawns and winds. It removes all the tiredness also and lethargy also. आहा, प्रभु ने ना नींद को भी दिया हमें. सोने के बाद सुबह उठते ही how to get freshened up. He gives all that beautiful at morning weather atmosphere too. And immediately he sends the Lord Sun or comes as Lord Sun and shows to us the path that like him throughout the day, you also work in the service of the world. In this world, everything is a teaching by the Lord for a listener, learner, seeker. So here also, that cool winds blowing to remove the tiredness. Then Vapraushadhi Jvalana Vismruta Deepakanam. So Aushadhi Jvalana Vismruta Deepakanam. Aushadhi is plants. The plants, the leaves, the flowers are Jvalana. So bright, brilliant. Vismruta Deepakanam. They are making us forget the lamps also. Lamps को भी बुलवाने वाला कांतिमान, the flowers of the trees or the trees with flowers. Then Kolahala Akula Kulaya Kula Akulanam. So Kolahala Akula. Kolahala means the lots of disturbing sound. Akula filled with. So Kolahala Akula, Kulaya Kula Akulanam. Kulaya means the birds. Kula means their place of stay, the nests. So many nests made by the birds, and in those nests, they all are talking to each other so much, reporting to each other what has happened throughout the day. That's how in the trees and all of those places, Pakshis, early morning also they talk, evening also they talk. Morning talk is they tell to each other what is their plan of action that day. Then Sham ko aate hi, they report to each other. We went to that place, we went to this place, this was happened, that's what happened. I got the food, I got double the food. I was in that house तो बुला बुला के उन्होंने खाना दिया. The other fellow, I was wanting to eat the food there, that fellow डंडे से मार के भगाए मुझे. So that's how they tell to each other. Like a joint family, very close to each other, 10 of them. In the evening, they come and tell each other, तुम्हारा ऑफिस में क्या हुआ रे, तुम्हारे बिजनेस में क्या हुआ रे, तुम्हारे कॉलेज में क्या हुआ. So they share. That was the entertainment those days. But the egos have become so strong that we don't want to share our stories. The same things are shown through TV serial. Like a stupid, we see the dead matter instead of living life fully, sharing our anubhuti with our beloveds. चेंज हो गया मैं कौन हूँ बोलने वाला आइडिया these all has come from the akula rava or dhvani of all the pakshis in their nests. That's the meaning of kolahala akula kulaya kula akulanam. Finally kulya kula kalakala shruta samkathanam. So kulya akula kalakala. Kulya means the water sources. Akula, there lot of sound because of the flow of water, etc. That sound was so much worth Ashruta Samkathana. Those who are next to that river talking to each other, they could not listen to each other. That's how the sound. And that is a very nice description, this one. Now the last mantra, Mukta Phala Prakara Sundara Vindupata Shita Khila Drumalata Truna Pallavanam Lakshmi Manastamita Pushpa Vikasa Bhajam Shaknoti Kaha Kalayitum Giri Mandiranam. So, Mukta Phala Prakara Sundara Bindupata. So, Mukta Phala means like the motiyon ke tarah, like the pearls. The water droplets are Sundara Bindu. Sundara, beautiful Bindu, the droplets of the water, Pata, fallen. Because of which Shita, very cooling. Akhila Druma, all the trees. Akhila Lata, all the creepers, etc. All the Lata, Akhila Truna, all the grass, etc. Akhila Pallava, tender leaves. So the grass blades, the tender leaves, then the creepers and the trees are Shitala and Sundara with the drops of water falling, which are like the pearls. Mukta Phala Prakara Sundara Bindu Pata Shita Akila Druma Lata Truna Pallavanam. The Giri Gramana, so beautiful. Then Lakshmi Manastamita Pushpa Vikasa Bhajam. So Lakshmi means the wealth, richness. What is the Lakshmi there in that gaon of the trees? Anastamita Pushpa Vikasa Bhajam. Anastamita means never fading, never ending, never setting. Pushpa Vikasa Bhaja means in that village, to all the trees, there is no astamita end or setting of the blossoming of the flowers, means All through the year, all through the season, continuously the flowers keep on growing because of the fertile land, richness of water and all. So कभी भी नष्ट नहीं होने वाला पुष्प विकास ही वहां का लक्ष्मी है. लक्ष्मीम अनस्तमित पुष्प विकास भाजा. ऐसा with so many descriptions having given about that village. Concludingly, Vasishthaji says, Shaknoti kaha kalayitum giri mandirana. The mandiras, the houses that are there in that Giri Grama, Kalaitum kaha Shaknoti. To see them, to describe the beauty of them, who is capable batao? Nobody is. Such is the beauty of that. Having so beautifully described in more than 60 shlokas, now he says, कौन उसकी सुंदरता का वर्णन कर सकता. But mind you, behind the heart, we have to know all this is Ishvara Leela and the Maya. Enjoy it, but don't take it as real. And if the Bhagavad Shakti Kalpita Jagat is so Sundara and Ananda giving, Bhagavan himself, we realize himself as our own self. How must be that Ananda? How much must be that Ananda? Ananta Ananda. So, the intelligent person, from seeing the world, from the seen world, he reaches to the Lord who is expressing this world out of his Maya. That's the purpose. दुनिया को देखो, भगवान को स्मरण करो. If the world reminds us of the God, we are sadhakas. If the world makes us forget the God, we are sansari, ajnani. So, शक्नोति कः कलयितुं गिरिमन्दिराणाम् इति आर्षेय वासिष्ठ महारामायणे वाल्मीकिये उत्पत्ति प्रकरणे गिरिग्राम वर्णनं नाम अष्टाविंशः सर्गः. Thus concludes the Girigrama Varnana named 28th Sarga. So lastly the Grama Varnanam, before that the Giri Varnanam, and before that the wonderful Vedantic Tattvajnana given as an answer to Lord Rama's question by Vaashishtha. Three topics have been covered. Thus ended the. This can be explained a lot, but मैंने कहा ये तो वर्णन ही है तो फटाफट कर देते. The today is a day wherein, if you want to count, we have done how many shlokas, from 49, 50 to 63. All the 13 shlokas we have seen them. So 15 mantras, big ones we have done. Now tomorrow Parama Akasha Varnanam. It also has got some short mantra. उसको आते ही पहले पारायण करके maybe in 3 or 4 days we do that. Thus sarga by sarga we read, we study, and whatever is given in that we try to add to our wisdom. If the Tattvajnana is given, that we understand. If the Jagat Mithyatva Varnana is done, that we understand. If Maya Kruta, if the Loka Varnana is done, that also we understand. Anything taught, we keep on learning. That's how we will add to the treasure of our knowledge through the study of such glorious Shastras. And the Yoga Vasta Maharamayana is unique in its style. So you can see how many topics are, how beautifully explained. And may, by the grace of Ram and Vasishtha, our intellects expand so much, become subtle and deep so much, become so pure that all these things we are able to comprehend, understand as one thought in a manner that this entire text of Bhattisazar Shloka is teaching nothing but Brahma Vidya to us. May our intellect hold that main knowledge that's given. Whether it is Yoga Vasishtha or Vakyavritti or Gita or Shvetashvatara Upanishad or Mandukya or Skanda Purana or whatever we are studying, may our intellects comprehend the main purpose of the study or main theme of the text and relate it to our own life and make us to grow being a spiritual seeker day by day. And a day should come wherein seeking the reality alone is the goal and the means. Other than that, there is nothing for me to look at. And a day should come that in that sadhana deeply, intensely we are involving, and a day should come, moment should come wherein that cover of Maya, delusion gone, and the Didar, what you call it as the darshan of the Paramatma happens to us. Thank you. Sarvam Ramarpanam Vasishtarpanam Om Purnamadaha Shruti Matre Namaha Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu. Very good. Now come, let us study some time other text.